On our trip to China, we visited 4 different universities and personally interacted with Chinese students who attended each. Through these interactions, we discovered characteristics of Chinese higher education that differ from that of American education, although there were also similarities between the two due to westernization. One of the major differences we saw was that colleges in China require Chinese students to attend military training, varying between a week and a month, depending on the university. This helps China to strengthen their military while also allowing students to get an education. We also learned that it is common for students to start studying English during primary school, so that by the time they are young adults, they know how to speak basic English. The Chinese students also told us it was common for them to study abroad in the United States and United Kingdom to gain an international perspective on their studies. Just one example of globalization in Chinese higher education. Higher education is important in cultural sustainability, as Chinese values relating to hard work ethic and innovative thinking skills are important to gain entry and maintain high grades in university life. Chinese students are expected to take an extremely challenging exam that lasts for 2 days during high school, called the National College Entrance Exam. The scores they receive on this exam reflect whether or not they are eligible for college. Through being able to interact with Chinese students, we were able to gain a more personalized perspective on higher education in China, as well as to see how westernized influences have impacted Chinese education and youth culture. Technology is an important aspect of our lives in America and is also heavily relied upon amongst youth culture in China. One main technological difference between America and China is that China uses an app called WeChat that encompasses several of the popular apps that Americans often use, such as Venmo, Uber, Apple Pay, Line Bike, Facebook, and Snapchat, all combined into one simple app. When talking to Chinese college students during a visit to Central China Normal University, they said that they use WeChat as their main social platform, and essentially only social platform, as Instagram and Facebook are blocked by the Chinese government. We also found while exploring places around China that several shops and businesses had options allowing customers to pay through WeChat.
In addition, the youth were interested in westernization goods and products, such as the Nike and Balenciaga knockoff brands. McDonald's, KFC, Dairy Queen, and Starbucks were popular westernized restaurants that could be commonly found in the Chinese cities. At places like McDonald's, you could find region-specific foods like taro pie that you wouldn't find in America. Because many Chinese people, especially the younger generations, are learning English, there are a lot of attempts at including English words and phrases into common Chinese objects. We found many signs and labels that got a little lost in translation. Even at some of the more traditional Chinese restaurants, the menu items sometimes had interesting and entertaining English names. Peppa Pig, another symbol of westernization, is a British cartoon who became an icon of resistance against the Chinese government. During our time in China, we saw many youth wearing Peppa Pig clothing and playing with Peppa Pig toys. There was even Peppa Pig candy. In many ways, youth pastimes in China are similar to those in America. Younger kids play jianxi, the Chinese version of hacky sack, in parks. We tried playing it, but we were not very good. Teenagers and young adults like to grab bubble tea and go shopping with their friends. Food is very important in Chinese culture, and young people enjoy getting together and going to hot pot. All of these activities contribute to economic sustainability through targeting youth consumers. One of the more traditional pastimes, loved by people of all ages, is KTV, or what we would call karaoke. Instead of singing in front of a bunch of strangers, KTV is typically done in a private room with your friends. The KTV place that we went to had both Chinese and English songs, another nod to the globalization of China.
The dating life for youth and young adults and expectations for marriage in China are different from what we are used to in America. In China, the dating life is typically accompanied with strong parental influence. Parents have a significant opinion on who their children choose to partner themselves with, and if the parents don't approve, it is oftentimes very difficult to maintain the relationship. This is different from America, where it is more common for youth to be independent in their dating lives.
When talking to students at Central China Normal University about this topic, they said that there is a generally accepted time frame in which young adults should get married, usually around their mid to late 20s. They also mentioned that oftentimes when young women first enter the workforce, they may be asked to sign a contract stating that they won't get pregnant until a certain age, basically agreeing to give their full focus to the job for a certain number of years.
While we were in China, we came across a dating show called Chinese Dating with the Parents. This show essentially lets the parents choose suitable partners for their children, a mix between old conservative China and new progressive China in the form of reality TV show. So while all marriages in China are certainly not arranged, it can be denied that parents and family have a stronger role in youth relationship in other countries such as America, although we definitely saw ways in which China is becoming more westernized.